are you? Let's get this party started. So, just a heads up, I don't, ChatGPT gave me an option of five titles, and I don't even watch readings that say the cutest, right? But they said it would be a more viral title. Actually, I used the cards. I ChatGPT gave me the five titles, and then I used the cards and so we're going to jump right into this. I use the cards to go ahead and find out which one was the best one. That's how I make decisions. I take the decision making, I put it out of my hands. I just ask. People like to use the word higher self. I'm not praying to God. I'm not this. It's like what's going. I'm working with a quantum field, and with cards are the way that I can interpret it. And I don't judge anybody else that feels like there's a higher self. I definitely have guides. And I will call them spirit guides because they are in spirit, but they're all very different, and we're going to get into that. This is going to be more teaching moments in the mornings, and then it'll be kicking your ass in the evenings. Okay, because I'm not going to let anybody get around. Everybody's entering to their dark night of the soul. I just went through it. Okay, so the past 10 years have been, but like the actual, and I don't like using those terms, but there's nothing, it's like when you wake up. That's why I don't like woke culture, but I do understand why they use that term. It's just been bastardized, right? So just like this, people are like, oh, people that have an issue with me using smoke cleansing versus soap cleansing. This is cleansing with smoke. I don't know if you knew, like, you had ancestors, people that didn't have sinks and didn't have, well, this is clearing energy. This is considered basically like a antibiotic for the air, right? Just like lemons and all that other stuff. I just like, let's stop. God made sage too. Okay, and it has a purpose. Okay, so we're gonna stop putting everybody in boxes, right? And here's the thing: is there's also the people that wear the beads and wear the turquoise and the this, that, and the other that just make a bad rap for everybody. It's not a culture. Again, I'm just kind of a laid back hippie chip. Always have been. I've been wearing turquoise my entire life. I've been wearing patchouli since I was 14 years old, right? But I also know how to navigate. I also sold $1 million homes for almost 10 years in my 20s, right? I know how to navigate wealth. I know how to dress like old wealth. I know how to go out and sell people, wealthy people, things, right? Like I work with divorcees, pilots that are divorced or trying to get divorced, right? These are people that have been in the Air Force and all this other stuff. Like, when you're a flight attendant, you're not just, people are like, oh, well, you're just, flirting and showing some leg, whatever. No, I was learning from these people that have military backgrounds, because I was looking to be, I went to Delta because I wanted to become a pilot. They had a program you could go in as a flight attendant and come out as a pilot. So that was the original, that just because you think that everybody's banging in the Mile High Club, well, that's a you problem, right? Because going into being able to get into one of the most the hardest, it's more difficult to become a Delta flight attendant than it is to get into Harvard Business School. Okay, so let's just throw that out there. But good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Hi, how are you? Hello, welcome. Please be respectful. Please enjoy. We're gonna have a really cool live. I'm just getting some smoke out and getting some because I really want to address, we're in Mercury retrograde right now. And then we're also in what, Neptune and Uranus, and we're approaching on the, I believe the 25th or the 29th is Saturn retrograde. So if it feels like everything is falling down around you, it is. It's not just you. We're about to have Jupiter opposite. And I'm not a huge astrologer, but I'm learning more because this is how I learn how to run circles around people, right? Because I harness the energy of the astrology, of the astrological weather. And if you don't believe in it, that's totally cool. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just letting you know. You think I'm doing magic. No, I'm paying attention. So I like to use my brain, right? Anytime you try and manipulate an outcome using alchemy, then that's karma that you're incurring. And I don't like, my karma hits me like toot sweet. So I stay out of that karmic loop and I keep my nose clean. Plus, I like not lying to people. If that means that I have less people in my, then so be it, right? It's kind of like, I'd rather be single than be stuck in a horrible marriage, right? I'm like, being stuck in a marriage with a fucking troll is not a flex. I'm sorry. You may think it is, but it's much better to be single and you don't have to mingle. I went through 4 years of celibacy. It was amazing. I got so much done because I wasn't giving my energy to anyone else but myself. If you don't know that the center, the chakra that is responsible for creating life, and the sex center is also the chakra for creativity. So if you're slinging that kitty all over the city, right, and then you wonder, I don't have any energy, right, for the things, these men are draining me. No, you're the one that opened your legs. That's why you're aging, why you look rode hard and hung up wet. Okay, like I feed myself. Self-care isn't just, oh, I pamper myself. No, it's nourishing yourself from the inside out. And so that's what these are going to be. These are going to be uplifting readings, and then we're going to get into the, like, maybe these are some things that, and everything that I say that comes out of my mouth, I've experienced them. That's why I'm able to articulate it. So the good and the bad, it's called integration. You can't be like, I'm a good person, I'm a good person. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to have emotions. What you're not allowed to do is do criminal acts, right? And hurt people and hurt the people around you and project and all this other stuff. That's no bueno. You have to learn how to self-regulate, or else you're just gonna hide behind your church pews and all that other stuff, right? Because you're afraid to, like, you know what, I screwed up. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't learn that. That's a skill. You know what I mean? You have to cultivate your own character, which means you have to be able to be self-aware of what your issues are. So I think we're already in pile number one. Um, let's go ahead and say, why are you so lovable? I am getting like Sagittarius. In fact, I'm reaching for this deck, which I wasn't even planning on using. But I am getting like a Sagittarian, um, like teacher vibe, right? Because I just climbed onto a little soapbox. So pile number one. Let's go ahead and do these. Oh, did I bring a pen? Pardon me. I'm going to put my glasses. I need to get these readjusted. They're a little wonky. But oh, the tiniest piece of paper on the planet. I have things everywhere. I know I got a pen in my purse, I believe. Excuse me. But if I don't do this, then I have to come back and watch it anyways, because when I get into flow, oh, I did have my little card. These are my little baby cards. Oh, that's right. I was going to tell you, for the people that are not interested in using, uh, like, if you really want to, like, what do these people think of me? I'm going to put my owls on. They're much more comfortable. My owlies. There we go. We've got a pen. We've got a pen. Am I in my Pee Wee Herman voice right now? Yes. Yes, I am. But as I was saying, so if you want a deck of cards and you want to know what, like, the people around you think of or anything like that, and you're not interested in using, like, these are a little more obtuse, right? Like, I use them for many different, but if you're just starting out, you don't want to learn tarot, but you want to know what's going on around you, there are three ways that you can go about it. You can go about it. I would say skip the oracle decks. Those are a little bit more pulled out, if you will. Let me get my little my Mara Michelada. Mm, my morning. It went from macchiato to michelada. It's not. It's just V8. I want to sound cool because I feel like a grandma. That's good. Mm. A splash of that what you call it. Mm. That's why it's tahini. I put tahini in there. Woo! Oh, it's spicy. I use the five spice habanero Bloody Mary mix. It is my it's yeah. The heat is here. Okay, so you can get this deck. It's called the Pure Intentions deck. So, do they like me? Interested, uninterested, if you're asking about a person. How do people feel about you? Welcome or not welcome? That's how I read them. This was in the past. Yelling. These are very, very specific cards. Collaboration. Do they want to collaborate with you? In the reverse, they do not want to collaborate with you. If it comes out in the middle, horizontally, it means it's either a moot point, which therefore you can clarify with another card, or they're on the fence. Okay, it's something that you can move the stick, or the, I don't know, move the needle with, if you will. I'm going to spit all over you. Uncertain, gaslighting, health, positive, great news. Excuse me. All of these cards, the grapevine, greed, secrets. If someone's, date, empathy, goodbye, check in, entertainment, love, travel, desperate, dishonesty, right? Like, are you getting the negative, trick, plans, curious, small favor, envy, right? Support. So they're like, how do you know this person feels this way about you? Well, I make my own deck of cards. So this is my crime deck, like actual crimes. I even have, like, I think I have it here. Yeah, like black magic. So all I do is make my deck of cards of like 60 nefarious people, and their names are on here. And then I make a deck of like the crimes, like fraud. We got perjury. We've got ladies' man. We've got money laundering. We've got grand larceny. We've got grifter. We've got bank fraud. So then you just use the card. This is where I'm telling you, like, here's the thing is you can make a deck of cards and ask the cards things that you know about them. Are they Hispanic or are they Italian? Right. And you can make a deck of cards and then you can start playing with it. Is this person, what is this person's in this person's lineage? Things that you know. Does this person usually have a red backpack when they come to school? You get this deck of cards. You make your own deck of cards. Like I said, I've got crimes because then I can take that card depending on how it falls, and then I can go ahead and create another tree of cards of investigation. Okay. So yeah, if someone, I'm like, okay, what is this person? What are their intentions? If nothing comes out, because I have a nothing in here and I have an else, right? So I'm not always forcing the hand because I like to do double, triple blinds on myself. That helps me get more accurate. So yeah, you get a deck of names, you get a deck of whatever you want. You find out, you get your pure intentions card deck here. If you want to go, you can go. I would recommend going with a Lenormand or a Kipper. Honestly, if I had my druthers, I'd have to go with the Kipper. But if I had a choice between Lenormand, even though I love this one, look at that. Someone's a snake, right? It's very straight up time, future. These are very family, family and health, your tree. There's a message coming, right? Blocks, obstacles. There's a third party. She's got her breast out, right? This is a person coming after your man or your woman. The rider, this is news, good news. This is happening in your house, right? This is about your money and your abundance. They're very specific. This is secrets. This is meaning like you're going somewhere. This means that it needs to stop. This means this is the current, the person who's on the front of the desk. Someone around you is wearing a mask. Someone around you is trying to take from you as that falls in my lap, right? These are the mice eating things away, right? When these cards come out together, they spell a sentence out. So you're able to profile, and you're able to get the real tea. You don't have to rely on tarot, which is like the magician. What the hell does that mean when you want to know if your husband was cheating on you? Now, I can tell you with tarot cards, but that took a long time, right? I want you to be able to go out today and find out. So we got safe space. So this couple, is this guy cheating on his wife? And then you can get the dice. I would say with the word revenge. Oh, I'm getting revenge cheating. Oh, see, I've already jumped into somebody's like timeline, right? That's the cards are a jumping off point for your subconscious, right? For me, when I'm here, I'm in flow. So that means like I can pick up on people's if they're in my energy. Now, if they're not in my energy, then I ask permission. I don't get into anybody's energy unless they give me a reason to, right? But because they're all around, right? Like they give me carte blanche. It's like giving me the keys to their house. So if you want to back up, and how do you know? People are like, well, how do you know if someone's in your energy? You just take. I'm not going to put their names out here, but you take your deck of cards with their name and says who's in my energy right now. Now, if someone's thinking of you and they're thinking well of you, it might be your family member. Their name will come up and it will be upright, right? If someone who's just on the fence, but they're still in your energy, right? They'll come out horizontally. And then if someone is in your energy and they've got nefarious, evil eye going, then they're going to come up in the reverse. And so then you can take that card and then you can say, well, are they, what are they doing? Are they just projection? Because projections are like just what people like somebody it's like the cheater that thinks that his wife is cheating because he's actually cheating, right? It's like these people that are like, she's a whore, and they're actually the whore. That's projection. And then they spin that narrative and they're actually just telling on themselves. So it's like when people are giving you like false information, you find out later that it's false, they're actually making the assumptions. Here's the thing, a lot of people will be like, they just assume I'm a slut bucket because I'm friendly and I'm pretty, and that's what they would do if they had a face like mine. Let's just go, you know what I mean, or buy whatever they feel I have that they don't have. I don't think I was born like this. What, how dare I use what I have? How dare a tall man play basketball? How dare I? I don't use this. Have you seen my resume? Do you know how much schooling I have? No, you don't, because all you see is this and you make assumptions. And you are allowed to your opinions. You are allowed to have your assumptions. I'm not here to, if you don't want to get to know me, if you're that type of person, then I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to waste my breath on a person like you. Right? This is, oh, pile number one. So you can make your own decks. I told you like my top decks, if you don't want to work with tarot or an oracle deck, those are more supplemental. I am going to, yeah, we are going to stick with this tarot deck, but I do want to get, I'm not going to be pushed around in my own reading. I am going to get a pile number one. I do have the four. The only card that's flipped up in this deck is the Four of Voices. So why are you so level? Oh, Four of Voices and Eight of Voices. You're not in your head. It's like the deck was like, no, you are going to talk to me first. All right, I guess we are. These are the only two that were flipped up in this deck. So we've got pile number one. Oh, that's what we were gonna do. We were gonna do our pile numbers, and then I see this is why we squirrel out. But that's okay. We work with our limitations. And actually, my squirreling is my superpower. So where are we at? We're at 16:30. Reading starts at 16:30. Let's put a little tomato on the pipes. It's really good. Eating tomatoes and drinking tomato juice was good because I'm starting to go live so much. I'm starting to lose my voice. Mm, okay, but it's so much easier. Oh my gosh. I mean, granted, I have to be somewhat presentable, and y'all know I had to be presentable since I was 14 years old. So it's really nice to just kind of, okay, and back in the deck they go. Yeah, pile number one. You I accidentally shuffled them back into the deck. I didn't accident. There's nothing an accident in a reading. Why you're so lovable? It's like you pop out. Why do you have this cute energy? It's because, yeah, I'm getting, as my mouth starts watering, I'm getting anticipation. That's why you're so lovable, is because yeah, I'm getting like drip, 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 like a breadcrumbing almost. I think you keep a lot of things to yourself, which you should. I learned. I used to tell all my business. Everybody knew my business about everything like that. I was just, right? Because I was always, excuse me, looking for validation or pity. I was definitely in a victim mindset throughout my marriage. Excuse me. And even though I was faithful, I wasn't emotionally faithful, if that makes any sense, right? But that's just on me. That has, I mean, he was deployed, 8 years, deployed every 6 months, if not more. Um, you know, Yeah, pile number one. You're comfortable with being by yourself. I'm like, why am I getting into that? Because here's the thing: is I. This is where I want you to get to know me a little bit more and how I move, the way I move, right? Because I wasn't always this super chill, and we got that Four of Swords, which is like rest, relaxation, and when you rest, I think because if you see that card, I don't know if it'll come up again. Oh, this one's right here. But it's like she's looking. It's like when you rest, you know that you're able, even though you may not want to rest, you do know that when you do rest, that you're able to bring in the downloads. Like I am just getting someone that's like really comfortable, and I think people find that really attractive. People don't realize I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to spend time by myself. I was terrified of being alone. I was always at somebody's, sleeping on somebody's couch. My friends up in Greenville, right? Like I was terrified of being alone with my thoughts because I'd gone through so much, complex trauma. And again, I'm out of the victim mode. So people are like, how can you talk about things like that so casually? And I'm like, I have to, right? Like these are things that were done to me that I had no choice in, and I'm not going to be a victim to, again, to someone, I couldn't, this is how I'm able to defend myself. And with the cards, because people, you can have intuition, you can have this, that, and the other, but the cards are a way to confirm what you already thought. Now, you may not be able to tell anybody, but you can move differently than these people, right? So it was Eight Voices. Gosh, it's like, I can't, again, you're hiding. I get also, yeah, I am getting this mysterious. There's like an elite energy. I don't think that you hang out with a lot of people. I think you keep your friendship group very small. So, people, there is just this fascination with you. I still can't find that card. It's probably over in this pile. I know. I can you see? I'm like, this is where I get a little fixated, but that's okay because I wanted to show you. But if I don't find it, then I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, I am getting like you have been learning how to navigate yourself. I am getting someone your central nervous system is calming down. I think people don't realize that that is very attractive is when someone has control, right? It's like they get that like, okay, this is a person I can't shake them, even if it's the person that's trying to shake you. Yeah, I think you have a lot of people that come and they try you, right? And you are getting what is this? Because this is someone in their head, right? You see that figure there? This is someone in your head. It came out in reverse. You are unbothered. Also, these were both swords. So this is like mental energy too. All of a sudden I'm like, whew, I'm getting really calm right now. Energy. So if for my readers out there, the four of swords came out upright and the eight of swords came out. So when you're reading tarot and you want to get a little bit more accurate and you want to know a little bit more of the subtext, I find that if you take it's of the same suit, swords, which means mental energy, eight of swords minus four of swords is another four of swords. It's like rest all around 365 degrees of chill. That's why you're so lovable because you're easy to be around. And I think it's because people really want to be around you too. I think they can feel like with me, no one has access to me. One person in my life has access to me. Even in my phone, I only have one person programmed in my phone, my new phone for the last 3 years. One person. I've got, my bank and all that other stuff, but one person I've interacted. I don't do DMs, right? Out of respect for my partner, I don't do DMs, right? Unless it's a business, right? And I'll share that. Like I'm upfront and honest about everything. I just ain't nobody got time to lie these days, right? Life is too short. And so that's why you're so lovable. It's just like I think maybe you've gone through something really tough. And so you realize there's people that are like, they're like, I'm like, you can judge me all you want, but until you've been actually like homeless, put out on the street by your ex-husband, right? Like, because he wanted to go with his new family that he had, took the money, took the car, and you want to make fun of people. Like, I have appreciation. I used to hate laundry. I used to hate cleaning. Now I love it. I'm so appreciative I have a roof over my head to clean. I'm so appreciative that I can do laundry, that I have the ability. So, people can talk all they want, but it was like in case you know what somebody's been through, it's like, okay, you're not going to hurt my feelings if that's what you want to assume and talk and run with. I'm just not going to associate myself with you. I don't want anybody that would believe you without getting to know me. I also don't want to associate myself with those because those people are sheep, right? I don't watch the news. And if I do, I verify things, right? So it's like you're no skin off. Yeah, it's no skin off your back. You're just perfectly fine. I am. I love my own company. I sing. I hoop. I play the guitar. I have my macrame. I've got my felting birds that I sew. I've got my puzzles. I've got my lights that I play with. I got my cards. I've got two YouTube channels. I've got digital products galore. I've got planners going on. I'm like, I've got freaking courses that I'm recording, right? Like I've got all this stuff. I've got merch that I'm producing. I've got a whole ass, a really big project for a really kick-ass place here in Texas, like a multi, like I got so much going on. I don't have time to worry about other people. I don't ask permission. If I want to do something, I don't have to ask somebody's opinion. I'm just going to do it. Right? I am beholden to no one. That's how I live my life. And people are, well, it sounds lonely. You know what? Do you know how many clients I'm speaking to? You know how exhausting it is? I've been in front of people. Do you know how many, 7 flights a day? Do you know how many people I had to sit there? You wonder why I smile? At Delta, they make you smile. Every time you go under a doorway, I have to train myself to smile. Every time you go under a doorway in your house, that's how you teach yourself. So people are like, oh, it must be fake. Well, you got darn right. You want your flight attendant to be a little bit of fake, don't you? Don't you? Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot? Yeah, like I am getting like dancing by yourself. I do. I dance. I put my long mirror down. I'm stretching. I'm trying cumbia and kizba. I don't know. Like, I'm not really good with like the TikTok dances or whatever, but yeah, I have a rich life. That's what you have. This is what makes you so lovable. And I really wanted these readings because pick a cards really saved my life. I didn't have anybody. People are like, oh, she probably gets complimented all the time. No, people don't do that because they don't want to go to your head. And my mother never told me that she loved me. I'm not saying that like, wah. Never heard those words come out of her mouth. I had to learn how to love me, right? I give myself the gold stars. I don't like, do you like me? Did I do good? Huh? Yes? No. Yes, Mario, you did good. Because you know what? I'm a decent human being. And I know what being a good person is, especially doing the right thing, self integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. But there always is somebody looking, right? There's always somebody up above looking. And whether you believe in Allah or God or the universe or source or spirit or Lucifer, whatever you believe in, someone's always watching. Okay. And so that's how I can, because, living in Airbnbs for almost 4 years straight, there's always a camera on you, right? I used to be the person that would steal people's hot sauce and stuff like that. I would and get away with it and maybe take a piece of their cheese. Oh, hell no. Not anymore, because my karma, because of the nature of what I do, right? Even with my readings, I have to take my ego out. I have to take my prejudices. You can just start reading tarot, but to go to a reader who takes their own biases out and give you information, right? There's so many people and they will steal your energy. They will tell you things. Readers are awful. I would say a good 10, 15. If you want to have an audit, an audit on a reader, because I can show you the cards. I don't have to be, I can show you where I got the information from the cards, right? Along with my own intuition, which has been honed, right? Thousands upon thousands of readings on YouTube alone. I think I know what I'm doing a little bit, right? I'm very, very expensive. You can't afford me. I know people like, oh, like, no, I do corporations now. I do corporate investigating. I'm not playing around. Unless you want a divorce, my divorce reads are a minimum of 10 hours. You got to pay me $180 an hour for a divorce read, right? And it's got to be a 10-hour retainer. That's the only way that I'm getting up off of my energy to make it worth my while, right? So, but with cards, this is where, it's teaching a man to fish versus giving a man a fish, right? I want to put this in your hands. I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm just saying, start to learn to read for yourself, or else people will take you down the garden path, right? That's giving up your autonomy to and putting your hands in these. People are saying they're psychics and they're like on Chat GPT, right? And don't get a reading from anyone if it's not face to face on a Loom or a Zoom or a private YouTube video. I wouldn't trust it. Chat GPT can read tarot cards better than I can because I read intuitively. I read off the artwork, right? I use the meaning of the card as background noise. But Chat GPT, I'm telling you, you can feed it there. Those Etsy things are like 24-hour readings. You could just go to chat. Mm. I put like celery. I make a mean Bloody Mary, but it is the morning, and I'm actually trying to stay up in the mornings. Well, I live on round time, right? So I typically wake up when people start with the shenanigans. I usually wake up to the smell of poop. And it's not me; it's people doing craft from everywhere, from anywhere. So then I just kind of roll it into my. I listen to my tarot TV. I get up and up on all the shenanigans, and then we're gonna start doing this. I'll code switch on you, and then the evenings you'll get a little more makeup, a little more LinkedIn Mara. Okay, pile number two. Ooh, we got the tower in reverse. Let's see here. Pile number two. Why are you so lovable? Okay, now we can go to this deck. I'm like, you're not the boss of me, but it's like a feeling. People. I do talk to the voices in my head, but I'm very clairaudient, and I have very chatty guides. So, um, let's see here. We're at 2901. Okay, pile number two. What makes you so darn lovable? Oh, I guess that tarot deck wants to be used. I'm like, when did I pick that up? Oh, it was underneath the note. See, that's how everything. It's like everything is a sign. Even when you like drop a pencil. If I drop something on the ground, I know there's something on the ground or somewhere near the ground that I need to look at. I mean, that's how, but you can only get that sensitive when you're in your own space. I can tell people I can make you hella psychic. Give me 30 days and a cabin in the woods. Seriously, this is all about dropping into flow. It's not you were born with gifts. Now, do I have some clairs that are stronger than others that are not? Yes, absolutely. Just like you may be good at reading but not good at math. Makes sense. You know, you can't. I'm not saying you can't, but we all have a propensity. That's why you have Montessori schools. Um, right? Pavarotti shouldn't stop singing the opera. He should not be running a 100-yard dash, right? He's really good at opera. He's a big, big, large, fluffy man. He should not be like running in a track race, right? Go with it. Stop trying to be good at the things you're terrible at. You're only going to be mediocre. Lean into your strengths, okay? Pile number two. Let's go ahead and see why you're lovable. Oh, let's go ahead and clear the air. Let's clear the air. Oh, are you like a mediator? We'll see. I'm like, I'm not, I am getting a very, I think like this might be, we have a pile just for high priests and high priestesses, but I feel like I'm getting someone it's interesting. I'm getting like all of these introverts. Actually, I think a lot of you are ambiverts. I think that, again, you know how to code switch. Like with me, I know how to talk all the TikTok language, right? But I'm not going to speak that when I am speaking to one of my investors. Now, one of my investors, right, owns a liquor store, like, laid back, Latino from the, you know what I mean? I kick it, right? We go in there, we drink a beer, and then we get down to business. But that's going to be different than when I'm talking to someone or a private investigator wanting to know if the husband's cheating or if I'm doing a video, right? I'm going to be dressed differently. I'm going to speak differently and not differently. I'm not going to be anything. It's just a different, you're allowed to have different facets, right? It doesn't have to be a whole ass alter ego. I also like to kick back, smoke a lot of weed, and have adult beverages. I was a bartender for almost 20 years, right? I've won bartending contests and stuff like that. It's just everything in moderation, right? Seriously, you don't have to be the person that's like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't swear, and then you just do it behind closed doors. Well, then you're just a hypocrite. Why not say, okay, well, these are words that I would say or wouldn't say, and I maybe will say them online or maybe around these people. You know what I mean? Like, everybody does it. They just say that they don't because they think that it's a bad thing. And it's called integration. I do have a petty side. I do have a passive aggressive side. I've learned to calm that down, but I can also, I can break out the gangster if I need to. I don't bring the fuckery. The people that are in my life, I treat them so well, right? And I'm not just saying that. I do. If I enjoy someone's company, I don't speak down to them. I don't make fun of them. I don't make backhanded compliments. I try and take care of them. I try and nurture them. I try and like find articles that that they talk about. I listen to them, right? That's why there's not a lot of people, because people won't do that. They'll just take. They'll feel, and then they get what's the word? Entitled. Feel like entitled to your energy and your all of that other stuff. And it's just like, no, if you don't have people like, oh well, you just only deal with people with money. No, that's not true. I deal with people with good character. I turned down a $47,000 contract. $47,000 contract because I did not want to be associated with that person. Like when I saw the way they conducted themselves with other people, like they're really great with me, but like how they treated like the people that were coming in bringing kegs and stuff. I was like, no, I don't want to get mixed up with people and have that reputation, right? And you know what? A few months later, someone that I met through that person called me with another big contract. So doing the right thing, and that would have been hell working with that person, right? No boundaries, no, but oh, it's bird in hand, $50,000 you can make in 6 weeks. I'm good, bro, because it's not going to be worth it. And like I said, and if that person allows me to see that type of behavior in front of me, right? I can't imagine what they're doing behind closed doors. I met this couple. They think that they wanted to oust me. I'm like, do you know that in front of a stranger, how shitty you talked about your family in the first half hour of knowing somebody? Like making fun of all these people, like just tearing people down in front of a stranger. You think I want to be associated with you? I can't even imagine if you do that in front of a stranger. I can't imagine what you talk about your friends and everybody behind their backs. And you think I want to hang out with you and like canoodle? Nah, I'm good, bro. Number two, I'm in your energy. You are. I just feel like I'm breaking out like straight from the hip, straight from the hip. There is, I think people get butt hurt. They definitely do. We did write it down? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did. Mm. People, Yeah, I am getting, I'm a Gemini ascendant. There's definitely a duality to me, right? People will say, "Oh, the twins," and you never know which one you're getting. You're actually kind of right about that. But we don't flip the switch unless we have to, right? I am totally cool. I'm totally chill. I learned, I used to be super aggressive. Then, with the airlines, you got to learn how to be assertive. You got to learn how to read the room, and you got to learn how to not get fired from people like the millionaire. You know what I mean? You're running around on United. You're like serving first class on silver platters. Okay, like you've got people, you got to be able to deal with all sorts of people, and they're very sensitive to prejudices and misogyny and bigotry and all this other stuff. Like people can sniff that out on you. That's why people think they're so like, I've been to Cancun and like Europe and say that they've traveled the world. Really? Because I can see your prejudice when you sit down next to someone or the door that you don't open because you think someone's less than you, right? Oh, but I'm biracial and I this, that, and the other, and I love everybody, and our church is multicultural and all this other stuff. But it's how you conduct yourself, how you flinch when you sit down next to a man with a turban. You know why I understand? Because I was that person. And I had to, you know what I mean? I had to, you know what? Everybody has parents. They die too. We all bleed red. Everybody's cool until there's an emergency, and then all of a sudden they want to play a victim. No, you don't get to hide behind your Bibles and your good girl personalities and your Mother Teresa and my parents freaking they were lunatics and they hid behind the church. Absolute freaking lunatics. I'm going to church long sleeves so nobody can see the belt marks, like the actual bleeding belt marks on my arms, right? Everything's great. And I can barely sit on my own ass. No. And I'm not projecting and this is why I can sniff out the predators. I can sniff out the abusers. I can sniff out the molesters. I can sniff out the rapists. It all happened to me. They carry an energetic signature. You want to know why I'm so good at what I do? You want to know why I know your secrets? Is because they're not hidden from me, right? People like you have been abusing me my entire life. So now I can see it. I know it when I see it. I walk in the room, I can feel it. My sentience is so high. I can feel the narcissism steaming pieces of oh my gosh, yes, people. I think that you are saying everything that nobody. Pile number two, you will say the things that people won't say. I am people. I think this pile of people are starting to fall in love. Why people are starting to love you. But this is for you, lovable. I am telling you that you are lovable, pile number two, because you just face the facts of yourself, right? You're not Delulu is the Salulu. La, la, la. Excuse me, you know what I mean? Let me go get a job that makes people think that I'm really, you know what I mean? Nurses and teachers are some of the most drug addled people I have ever met, right? And they're the Mother Teresa's and the, you know what I mean? I go to church 3 times a week, but I've cheated on my husband the entire 17 years I was with him. 3 times a week. Get the fuck out of here, right? That's exactly right. I'm here. Pile number two, you are getting we haven't even gotten a card. See, this is where you get to a point where you don't even need a card. I don't like the people using the word channeling. I prefer the word streaming because there are actual channelers that like channel like Bashar and Abraham Hicks and or Esther Hicks channeling Abraham. Those are channelers. The words like the entity the speech is coming out of their mouth. That is channeling. You're allowing it. Mediumship is completely different. I can actually interview. I have a couple of videos I did with Prince and I did it with Princess Diana and I did it was like my second time. And I did it, and you can even see like my eyes change when I like come into my consciousness and I ask a question and I come back into my consciousness. It's just like sharing a brain. And so I can pick up their affectations and everything like that. But it's not like possession. It's just like I'm on their wavelength, if that makes any sense. And we're going to talk more about that because I think people really need to be. I'm scared. And I am going to be offering celebrity mediumships. They're going to start off probably about a grand an hour. I was charging 500, but it's a lot of energy. So yeah, if you want to talk to Napoleon Hill, and obviously these are applications, and I have to sit down. I have to make sure that like there's some people like Robin Williams. I would love to interview him, but he's got too many demons attached to him, right? And so I'm not going to let that into my energy field. So anyways, so you might be a medium just because I usually don't get into that and I just bit my tongue. Yeah. Oh, people want you to bite your tongue. Oh yeah, they do. You might be getting just take care of your throat chakra as I am with the V8, because I think people really want to, especially if you're speaking up. I'm talking about a lot about my past. So if you're speaking up about like abuse and atrocities, I definitely feel like, the people that are loving you and what makes you lovable are the people that haven't had the chutzpah or the opportunity or the platform to speak up for themselves. Let's go ahead and get a card because I love this. This is the angels and ancestors. I feel like, oh yeah, no, I'm tapped into a natural born dreamer, if you will, because I just, you see me like I was really calm in your energy before, and all of a sudden I went. So you might not know. You might be a person where it's like you're talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden you're like, "What was the conversation?" That's getting into flow. Okay, that's when you're streaming. Okay, when you always seem to say, somebody's like, "I was just thinking about that." Where you answer people's questions, right now you're pulling from the quantum field, not from spirits, not from Lucifer, not from the tarot cards. You don't even need tarot cards if you're uncomfortable with that. You just make your own. Excuse me, go back. If you're just starting here, you can go back the first 16 minutes. We do dive into making your own cards so that you know that there's nothing, no spirits have been infused in them. Okay. Yeah, I am getting some of like, I'm getting like rabbit hole energy. I think that you're like addicted to learning, as am I. I'm autodidact. I have a photographic and a auditory memory. Anything I see or hear, it goes down, and that's something that I actually, anything that I heard before, I would remember. But I trained the photographic memory. I had a propensity towards it, and then I was able to do that, right. And it actually helps, especially when you're working with like trying to get into remote viewing. It's nice to be able to have those anchors and get details, right? Because when you start, people don't realize I just started tapping more into my brain. We only use 10% of it. What if I use 15 of it? I'm using maybe 12 of it, right? A little bit more, right? Like learning with brain waves and gamma states and alpha states and getting into flow and learning how to do that very quickly. And so being able to pick up on, so this has nothing to do with, bloodlines and high priestess and all of other stuff. Those are just kind of like archetypes, right? In a certain community. And so I want to make things very, what came out? Oh my gosh. Came out as arrow in reverse. Look at this. I think that people are starting to, because what, arrow is the truth. You're a straight arrow, right? We were just talking about you being a true sayer, right? And this is where what makes you lovable. Oh, you call out. That's exactly right. Oh my, I seeing call out. I have hermit in reverse on the bottom. You are calling people. You're calling out the fuckery. You're calling out the fuckery, and people don't want, they like, I'm getting like kicking and screaming, the crabs in the bucket, like no. Oh, I say crabs in the bucket, but that didn't feel right. I'm getting boiling water. I'm getting the frogs in the pot. I think, yeah, it was like they were cool, like simmering. I think I'm also getting like, oh, I don't like, again, we're gonna try and use those words, divine timing. You don't have to be divining anything, right? Strategic timing. I think you heard Hail Mary, a Hail Mary pass, but you're working with the astrology. This is where people, you don't want to believe in astrology. Excellent. That helps me, right? I'd rather float downstream than paddle upstream, wouldn't you? If you're in a canoe, if the energy, like, why would you turn around and start paddling upstream in a canoe, right? And make it harder on yourself. Why not just go with the flow, right? That's flow state. That's with your life. If things are changing, right? And things are going to be hard, right? You got to work through your karma. I've worked through my karma. That's why I'm not monk puppy all the time, but I know whatever I put out there is going to sling back so hard for me. So like, I just learned to be a good girl and have fun and learn. People are like, oh, she's a child, and they think I'm naive and all this other stuff. That's great. I have such, I can't wait to get my sewing machine back and start making quilts. Like I just, all the things that I wanted to try I didn't get to do in my childhood, right? I was locked. I'm not gonna even go there. I yeah, I sing and dance and play music and do the things while I'm working, right? And I cultivated that for myself. And so I think that's pile number two. I think that, you living in your truth, I am. I'm getting this self love. You might hug yourself. I hug myself. I learned to because I didn't have anybody else to hug me. And I'm like, well, I can do it myself. So I talk to myself like a little girl, like the little girl that I never got to be the little girl. Right. So that's when you see one side to the other side of me, you hurt my little girl. If someone speaks to me, energetically comes after my little baby, oh, and I'm my own little baby. Right. So, and that's why I'm not afraid because I know my truth. I know who I am. The people that love me and that they know how I operate. I am like this. I am like this. Right. But I'm allowed to, right? It's very comfortable because I'm allowed to speak my truth. It's people that are hiding and hiding who they truly are. That's why they get so mad. That's why we're gonna keep this channel pretty triggering for a hot minute. Because I want to trigger, if you can be triggered, if I can say something out of my mouth and I can change your state of mind, guess who's in control? Right? People that are unbothered don't go after people they don't know. They don't go after anybody. Happy people do not go troll the internet and spread lies and slander and try and paint narratives to people they don't even know. People that are fulfilled in their lives are hanging out with their friends and fulfilling other people's lives, right? And doing the right thing. They don't go around, but I mean, just it is the hate. This is years long. Get the fuck over it. Seriously, you are not that important. Take a fucking seat. You want to know? I couldn't walk for 9.5 months. I had autoimmune diseases out the wazoo. You know what? Really, when your health goes, you want to mess around and then your health comes for you. And then what are you going to play the victim and ask for cash apps from your fucking church members? Right? It's my birthday. Give me money. It's my. You freaking. Seriously. Okay. Pile number 3. Let's go. I'm on pile number 3. I am in a feisty energy and I like it. Pile number 3, what? I am. I'm getting yeah. See, pile number 1 wasn't mouthy. Pile number 2, definitely mouthy, but very articulate. Pile number 3 is like, you see, like my energy, I'm like, I love it. Why are you so the cutest? I am getting cute here. I think people think that you're cute when you get mad. You might have just like a spite, and I don't like saying like, I'm Latina, I'm spicy, I'm Italian, I'm spicy, I'm whatever, you know what I mean? I'm French, I'm boring. I can be bad. I never say things out of one thing I love about Ali Wong. She just puts it out there. She's like, one thing about dating someone in your own race is that you get to shit on all the other races. Like I love a good Dave Chappelle. I am a equal opportunist when it comes to talking about stereotypes and this, that, and the other, but never mean spirited, right? Never with those terms and those derogatory words in mind. We're allowed to and where is the line? I don't know. Cultural appropriation. I don't know. I don't know. There's this I'm already calling or at pound number 3. There is this Supreme Court ruling, and they're like, about pornography. What does pornography? And the Supreme Court judge says, I don't know with all of this, that, and the other, but I know it when I see it. And that's where I go with the moral compass. Yeah, I am getting here. I think people might think that you think that you're better than them, but I think you just like me. I have my own like code of ethics taken, I studied religion. I almost went to seminary, right? And actually it was the best thing because I ended up leaving the church after reading the Bible and learning about the Bible academically. I was like, this is the book that I've been following this entire time, and it's been curated by other people. Like there's so many other books of the Bible, like people don't even, and I'm like, so they just chose cherry picked what they were going to put in the Bible, and this, you know what I mean? And then you realize that the Bible was just, I mean, we all know Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, it was written, but these are people. It's a historical book for the Jewish people, right? And so when people get into that selective sinning, like, oh, I can eat my pork carnitas, but you can't play with tarot cards. First of all, where does it say tarot cards in the Bible? Just saying, right? It doesn't. It talks about gambling though. So I got some poker dealer. You know what I mean? The church deacon or whatever poker dealer coming for me for playing. I'm like, you're playing with the original tarot cards. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, pile number 2. It's like you don't like I'm better than you. I think it's something that you cultivated, right? Such as myself is like cultivating a better character. I became the person I wanted to be and the type of friend I wanted to have and the type of person I wanted to date, right? I became that person. I took a long look. I had to. I had a lot of time on my hands. Like, how do we turn the ship around without going to therapy, right? How do you like not become a victim? How about you say, okay, trauma happened to me. I don't want to sit on somebody's couch for 10 years trying to work through this. It's called neuroplasticity, right? You can go and you can rewire your own brain. It's called leaning into dissociation. You don't have to remember all those things. You don't have to go dredge all that stuff up. It'll come up. I promise you. We were listening to, I think it was Ted Nugent or something. He was saying he was like, or the guy from the Who. He was on stage, like 62 years old. He's playing the guitar like he does, concert, and all of a sudden a memory drops in of him being molested, right on the middle of stage. Like it will once you get to that stage, just like weight loss. Weight loss is energy. It's an energetic thing, unless you've got, thyroid and all this other stuff, but all those other issues, right? I used to be the sickest, like, yeah, pile number 3. I think we wrote it down. I'm like, did I leave a pen or my paper? My pen and my paper. Let's get in here. Pile number 3. Did I write it down? I grabbed it. It's going to be long, but worth it. I think we started a little while back. I'm going to go with the 45 mark. Let's see here. Come on. This is what happens when you get cheap pens. Mer. I think we got another one up in his house. Right? Again, I will say his house. People will think I'm speaking Ebonics. It's because I'm on my YouTube channel. Do you think I talk about his house when I'm negotiating a 45,000 contract? Probably not. 45. We're going to go ish on that. Okay. Pile number 3. What came out? We got animal guarding in reverse. We got trust your instincts in reverse. So this came out in reverse. I typically don't like to read this deck, but honestly, if you're not reading reversals, I don't know what you're doing. Like you can't unsee them. I know you want to be lazy, but I mean, you've got 78 cards with the tarot deck, or excuse me, I think like 55 with this particular oracle deck. You got double the amount of, actually triple the amount of information. Because if it comes out, horizontal, that's one way to read. So you can read a card 3 ways. You get the circle cards; those are a lot of fun because it's endless. They are very very accurate on in the way they fall. So but I will be doing workshops over on Substack. Most of the card content, if you want to learn from me, will be over on Substack. Okay, because it'll be behind a paid membership, so I have eyes on everybody. And I've got some proprietary methods that I use that I just don't want to put all over the internet. So animal guardian came up in reverse and it says trust your instincts. What people love about you the most is that you do trust your instincts. Those are the people that are very attracted to you, right? Let's go ahead and pull some tarot because it's like they want to learn. That's why you're so lovable. I'm getting gift of gab, love for learning. I'm getting riz. I'm getting straight riz. That's what I love the kiddos speak. The sitch and the riz and the if you know, you know. I love it. It makes me relatable. It makes me feel young, right? But then I can also drop into an excellent vocabulary, which we'll be getting more into on my other YouTube channel. Just the amount of words you have in your vocabulary is directly related to what you make, and it can make a really big difference. Just because here's the thing: if you're expanding your vocabulary, it means that you're exposing yourself to new. It's not just learning the words. Learning vocabulary, you can learn the word, but can you use it in your own speech and integrate it so it doesn't look like you're like, I'm not here to, I like to learn more words, not to sound better than somebody, but I want to keep up with peers when I'm, making huge contracts and everything like that. But also, I love having, we were just talking about this, like there's a word in Spanish that means hot in temperature, caliente, and I can't remember the other one, but the other one means hot, spicy, right? And so when you expand your vocabulary, yeah, I'm getting like a lifelong, um, I'm getting a little hermit vibes here. Oh, we got the 4 ones. Yeah, very. You might have a Taurian or a Capricorn. I am getting like Earth placements, and this really confirms that to me is like this slow and steady wins the race. I'm getting blinders. I always tell people the way I love people, like the people that I'm with, anybody that's watching, how faithful I was. Like people say, like loyal to a fault. That was me. No longer. Now I'm only loyal to myself and my person. Right. And that person, like, I don't, people, just because, here's the thing is sometimes I know people are going to piss it off, but I do know that I'm an attractive person. Right. And so sometimes, and I am very friendly, right? But not friendly, like touch your man friendly, whatever. I don't want, ew. just because your man likes me doesn't mean I want your man. I like my man. I don't want, even if I wasn't, I don't want somebody else's person. Do you know how bad karmically that, like, that would bring down? Like, no, but I love hard, right? The Sicilian in me is just like, me familia, right? I'm like a dog. I told him I'm like a dog, like on the sidewalk. You see a dog that's like sitting and its owner's like eating food inside. It's not on a leash. It's just sitting there. It won't even look at you. It's not like friendly, whatever. It's just like, I'm waiting for my person. That's how I roll, right? I don't roll with my person or myself like giving second looks and rubbernecking at people, or like being, I'm the same way friendly to the janitor, to the billionaire, to the grocery clerk at the store, right? This doesn't change, right? It really really doesn't. And even if I don't like you, you won't know it, right? I've got a poker face like nobody's business. That's what 3 flight attendant trainings will teach you. And also having a crazy ass narcissistic mother. I know how to gray rock like nobody's business, right? Married to one, raised by two. Yeah. So yeah, I see how matter of fact, like last time I was like, pile number 3, it's just like this, again, slow and steady wins the race. I am getting a huge Taurian placement. And you may not even know, I didn't even know I had Taurus. Like my Chiron is in Taurus, which Chiron is in. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. Oh yeah. Everybody in the past, like this whole astrological year with the planetary lineup and like the Pluto and Jupiter conjunction, like this is just sexy. It's not sexy for you, especially going into this retrograde, right? The Saturn retrograde. Everything's coming up. This is Pluto. Pluto. When's the last time Pluto was in? It was like, I think it was 1996. I can't remember. I think Pluto is 17 years. I'm talking about the last time Saturn was in Aries was 1996 to 1998. So what were you doing? I was 16, 18, that whole thing. Like I ran away from home. My parents were bananas, right? I ran away from home so I didn't like read my mom. And I've never been back. Never been back. Turned 18. Shoo, out of there. I didn't even finish high school. I went and got my GED, right? Got my GED. Now I have my bachelor's, which I paid off my entire marriage. I managed to pay off $80,000 of art school. So something good came out of it. My own money, by the way, my own bank account. So here we go. Title number 3. I really feel like I'm here coming into your own. I'm getting, actually, you know what I'll say is there is a Capricorn placement in here. You might be older, such as myself. I'm 40. I'll be 47 this year. Um, but it's actually like known that Capricorns, you have a significant Capricorn placement. First of all, we are Benjamin Buttons. We do, because we love to work so much, right? We do age a little backwards, but the fine wine kind of love there, just because you stay in the workforce. But I am getting Capricorns. They're very famous for coming into their own after their 40s, well into their 40s, like 38 years old, but into your 40s, you may just have like being Saturn ruled, just like the shittiest. You're just known to have like the shittiest, especially with the first kid, like childhoods and everything like that, and then becoming very, very affluent later in life. So, yeah, I feel like somebody needs to hear that out there. I'm gonna get one more card. Pardon me. For pile number 3, I feel like I'm just hanging out on here. I'm just getting those watch time hours, baby. I'm just getting eyeballs on. Plus, I gotta open all the windows and feed the plants. One more. One more for. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Devil, talk about Capricorn. Capricorn, this is your card. The devil is not the devil is all about like addictions and negative thinking patterns. The devil isn't like the devil. I mean, it can be depending on the context. Devil in reverse. You are getting these, this is bad habits. I feel like you've jumped onto another timeline for the people that are like, what did she talk about timeline? It just means your trajectory. Like this is what retrogrades are for, right? Making tweaks before you put the foot on the gas, right? I feel like you're just adjusting yourself. I do. I'm getting like a fine tuning. And look at this. Talk about fine. Oh my tower. There's a tower. Why? Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that. Well, for first of all, we've got 3 major arcana. This is a big ass deal. The devil in reverse. We got the magician. This is like I'm getting like if you speak I'm talking to somebody, I'm getting chills right now. Master manifester. What does that mean? You think it happens. You think somebody's going to call, they call. You say, I'd like to learn, like with me, macrame. All of a sudden, a thing comes up, a macrame thing, and I haven't even searched it in YouTube, and it comes up on the feed, right? That is the power. People talk about the power of attraction. That's manifestation. That's quantum field. When you start seeing those little things, like I started realizing I would tell lies, like to get out of work and say like, oh, I got into a car accident or whatever, and I would be so convincing of it, and then it would happen. That's when I started like catching a clue. Rutro. Yeah, I'd have somebody, I'd lie to somebody and they'd lie to, I mean, it was just like I lost, steal $5 and lose 500. Like I was just like, oh, this is not gonna work. We gotta friggin' clean this up, right? And so, but yeah, so you might be a master manifester, but you bring in the tower. You know why people, you know why you're so lovable? And people may not love you, they probably love you a lot longer because you bring the tower into people. You show people that have been making excuses for themselves. People don't realize I've done a lot. People are like, oh, this, that, and the other. I've done a lot with a lot less than you have. You've had a roof over your head. You've had supportive parents and friends and churches and groups like that. I haven't had that. I had to walk away from all of it, right? And now that I have, look at me, 170 pounds lost, right? I lost all of that dead weight. But I trigger the hell out of people because they're like, well, what does she have? Especially people that are like bigots or prejudiced. And they already think that I'm like just some hoe or something like that. Like, who does she think she is, right? But then they're like, well, I can do that. Well, then fucking go ahead and compete. I don't compete with you. I stopped competing with blonde women a long time ago. Okay. Seriously. I stopped competing with any freaking females, right? I compete with myself. What did I do yesterday? How can I improve it? I'm going Mr. Beast style. 1%. All you got to do is be 1% better than you were yesterday. And sometimes that means resting as well. It's knowing and being in tune with your body. You bring on the tower. People are just, and I also think, what's lovable is that you also break down people's, I think people that look like me. I'm speaking for the biracial girlies. I got this couple, right? They're biracial. They got a biracial kid, blue eyes, got the same skin color and the crazy hair, right? And they're being this nasty, nasty gram. And I'm like, what do you think? How do you think people are going to treat your child? Right? This shit fucking slings back around you. So, like, yeah, you bring the tower on people. I think you make people realize where they've just been sitting in the ick. Right. And it's just, and I get like this walking away type of energy. Like, I don't have to be toxic, right, to be successful. Right. Yeah. Somebody has learned how to self soothe. Right. For me, I don't go turn to beverages or cannabis or whatever. I do it for the fun of it. Right. Instead of using it to cope. Right. I don't take anything more than ibuprofen. Oh my gosh. I had some teeth work and I had like a Toradol. And I used to be on every medication in the world for the autoimmune and the joints and the this, that, and the other. And like, yeah, I mean, just not even fun stuff. Not pain pills. It was not addictive. I just had to take a bunch of them. Nerve pain. You can't get rid of that with pain, medication. And like now everything's cleared up. Why? Because, dropping the weight, then, I've detoxified my life and therefore I've detoxified my body. Right? Two autoimmune diseases gone. Gone. So yeah, I'm getting self-healing like you someone yeah, you I just feel like someone's just fallen in love with themselves. People will call you selfish. You damn skippy I am. I can't help you unless I'm taking care of myself. Fill your own cup, babe. All right. I love it. Pile number 4, my high priestess pile. Where are we at? 63, 31. Okay. Woo. Like I finished it. I want to get a little bit more. Let me go fill this. Actually, I don't think this is gonna be that long. Let's just get Let's get the why do I want that deck? High Priestess. What makes you so lovable? Well, first of all, just like I said to the two service guys in the hotel, thank you for your service. Right? Because you don't get that title without going through a lot of crap. Right? Doesn't mean that you do magic or anything like that. These are just like my OG warriors. Let's see here. We've got laugh in reverse. How do we get that? What makes you so lovable? Let me get a little more. I'm not picking up anything. That's the only thing. That's why I don't use these cards so much. There's not a lot of intention in them. It's just a word, right? So I use them in conjunction. That's why I thought it was weird to. Why would I? Well, first of all, I can't get into your. I know I'm talking to a high priestess because I'm barely getting to your energy. Oh my! Talk about high priestess. You can't make it. We got the hierophant. Oh, as my throat. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is because the laugh in reverse, it's like you're no joke. That's what I'm getting. But this is like, why would I use this card? It doesn't have a lot of intention, right? It's just got the words in there. It's very, and then all of a sudden, boom, the Hierophant comes out. You know what's really sexy, lovable? I would never use the word cute. ChatGPT said that was going to be a more viral title. Hey, I'll use all the things, right? This is called being resourceful. Making those lemons and the lemonade and putting the basil and a little bit of rosemary in there and a little bit of vodka and making a beautiful Maltifi cocktail. Oh my gosh, high priestess, holy cannoli. I love you are no joke. Why are you lovable? Because you're dead ass. You're dead ass serious. People know they're getting the truth when they talk to you. Also, they see, look at the difference in these cards, right? This is dark and stormy and reverse. Like it's no funny. You're like, boom, here I am, right? The Hierophant. Look at that. That is sexy. Five of Cups. Yeah, I'm getting. I suffer no fools. You are. Oh, I'm getting the chills. I suffer no fools. Look at this. The sun on the bottom of the deck in reverse, right? I suffer no fools. We don't laugh here. We don't like very serious. What makes yeah, that's what makes you lovable. That you're the Hierophant. I am getting the mommy, the daddy energy. You are giving, yeah, I'm getting whoosh. I'm getting Saturn. Whoosh. You might have significant again Capricorn, but Saturnian placements as well, Aquarian placements too. I like doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow, man, I'm spitting all over the place. Do you see? I'm like all fidgety. Like people are in your energy. Yeah. I think what's so lovable and yeah, I'm just getting this no shit. I'm getting General Schwarzkopf. Like I'm getting some Desert Storm, like general energy. Like, yeah, big daddy, big mommy, BDE energy. Is like I think it's more of a reverence than a love. But yeah, I'm getting respect and reverence and oh my gosh, we got the offering. Wow. I just got chills. Let me read into this. You're offering your wisdom. That's what it is. It's like I think you're it's kind of like I make fun of people. I would say that people from Detroit were raised by wolves. When you fly the entire country, you go to city all over the United States and one city or one area is like a certain way. I mean, it's just the stereotypes. But it's like they can't even behave in first class, and you hardly ever hear anybody have it in first class because they can't afford. I know it sounds terrible, and it's just the thing about the city and the demographics and all the other stuff, right? But that's everybody, right? It's just how people from different places act in certain areas and everything like that. But you're offering people, um, like I said, raised by wolves. I say that because I was raised by wolves in sheep's clothing, right? I had the people, behind the good language and the private schools and all this other stuff in the church. Meanwhile it's a whole ass Ted Bundy situation, right? Behind closed doors in the Bible. So, um, and I'm not even kidding. Go check the prisons my mom has worked at. It's like, why would you want to go work at a prison when you can charge 120, when you get paid $120 an hour somewhere else? Why would you go to prisons? He gets paid in other ways. All right. So, hello, High Priestess. She's like, oh, just spilling all the tea, right? Spilling all the tea. Because nobody cares about a prisoner dying, right? Except for his family, unless they're cut into the life insurance policy. Rather them die in prison than, and get the money from 'em. Seriously. This isn't news to it might be news to the people that are on here on this channel, but it's not news to the FBI. I got approached. I got approached. I had no clue. So the offer, it's like, yeah, I'm getting like Scooby said, you are offering guidance. That's why you're so lovable. And I am getting more revered to people that just were raised by people. Like, here's again, we've gotta forgive them. This is where forgiveness comes. We forgive, but we do not forget. My mother was raised in Haiti, if she's my mother, right? Came home to her brother's head on a stick, right? Raped her entire life by the entire family. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do with that? Well, no wonder she offered her daughter up to predators, right? So I cannot I can't do anything. What am I gonna be mad at her? You know what I mean? Like I gotta like it is what it is, right? The only thing I can change is myself and how I react, right? Not being a victim, not even just, oh, I'm a, excuse me, I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving because I don't even think about these people. How do you walk, well, how do you not walk away from people who have done this to you? Blood is not thicker than water. That's what you're offering is just solace and sovereignty. There's this card in this deck. It's called the Sovereign Queen Maeve. And that's what I'm getting. You're just, people are understanding that they can survive on their own. They can stand up for themselves, right? They don't have to take the shit plate that was dished to them. And you got to understand the people that served it to you, where did they come from? Like, again, it's like, how, well, you can blame, you can wag your finger, you can get on with your life. That's what you're offering. This is the offering. This is the having peace and self-compassion, compassion for other people, but also not giving them permission to bring the fuckery. Yeah, I'm really into you. I'm like, I am ready to go eat hella big breakfast. I got some avocados and some farm fresh eggs waiting for me and a little spinach. Um, this is just if you're in Texas, there's a lot of storms. These are really good days. Right now, we're can you imagine? Like Mercury retrograde is almost done, but now we're going into Saturn retrograde, which is where I thrive because other people, you catch your karma from the shit that you did last year this time. So that's why I keep my nose clean. Everybody think, no, I just on day to day to day, I know when retrograde comes up, that shit's gonna come back and hit me so fast. So I just keep my nose clean, keep on working. I keep co-creating with God, with universe. What does that mean? I will say it again. One of my favorite. The pastor was shit, but one of his best sermons was with Lazarus. Right? Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, but somebody had to move the stone, right? You got to do the work. You got to put a little elbow grease in there. That's what co-creation is, right? Is like I said, paddling downstream. You still got to paddle. You still got to steer the thing, even though you're going downstream and you're letting, you know what I mean? So it's using momentum, using karma and dharma and astrology. Again, these things are all things that were made by the Father, by the universe, by God, by the divine, right? However you, if you identify it as source or Allah or Gaia, right? As long as you believe in something. If you can't believe, I have a hard time, right? Even science, right? Like, but I cannot abide people that have children and say they don't believe in something bigger than them. It doesn't have to be what I believe in, but there's miracles every day. And if you think that's just I do believe in the quantum field. And again, I don't judge. There's reasons why people feel that way, and that's great. Um, but I have a hard time with people that are so myopic, right, that they can't see the forest through the trees. All right, time for breakfast. I love y'all so very much. I will be coming with links. I think I'm probably going to clean up my beacons and get all 47 readings and apothecary items off of there and just go ahead and make like 6 tabs to make it easier for you to contact me. I don't know if I'm gonna have readings on there just yet. I am really trying to stick to the corporate thing, but I might be doing like character assessments so that you don't date the wrong guy. I think that would be doing the Lord's work. I might just do that for free. Maybe I'll do that on TikTok today. Possibly. I don't know. I'm gonna go feed my face and let's see here. Haitian ancestry as well. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome everybody that came in. Please consider. Let's see here. Do you have a PlayStation? That's weird. What are you holding? From 2020, and I have 900 subs. I know. I must be such a failure. Then why are you on here? If I'm such a bad reader, why are you on here? That's what we call not having consistency, though, right? I wouldn't wipe my asshole with those shit cards. It's bullshit. Oh, okay. Sweet. You don't have to watch. Nice hearing people talk about character. What's going on? My throat is closing up. Multiple herbs and healed it. Okay. Oh, we had a cast characters. I gotta love people that like type that out. It's bullshit. Okay, well then you don't have to watch, right? Y'all are adorable. I wish I could like come up on the fly with like some really great quips, but I really can't. But we're not going to close on that. Mooches, mooches. All right, bye, y'all.